what I came down to and my reasoning for leaving was Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lena and I make videos. And today's video I'm making during my lunch break, and I've got a delicious kava bowl with me. It's so good, my mouth is watering. And we're going to talk about how I'm no longer a police officer. Here's the first bite. It's absolutely delicious and I'm so excited to eat it. For those of you who don't know, I started the police academy in July 2018. I graduated March 2019, and then I quit August 2024. So about 2 months ago now. Diet Coke and a fly. What changed? I was a police officer for about 6 years and a month, so just a little over 6 years. And during that time frame, I worked nights, I worked days. I was a part-time recruiter. For the majority of my time with PD, I was in the media and messaging unit as their interim or temporary social media coordinator slash videographer slash photographer slash just all the things. And I really enjoyed it. And it was during that time that I realized I didn't want to go back to the road. There was no part of me that wanted to go back to the road as a police officer. And maybe had I had the opportunity to interview for the sworn social media coordinator position, I still would probably be in that department, but they did away with it and they were going to do it as a civilian, so non-sworn position, but they hadn't gone around to it. And I was tired of waiting. I was just tired of waiting to have the department make the decision and then me apply for it. And they're just like, you know what? No, Lena's better served for the road because we need officers. And I had put in for so many things that I was interested in during my time with the department, and it just never panned out. I would always make third on the list, and what's that? It doesn't matter. Usually they barely take number one on the list. And I was just getting tired of it, right? So instead of constantly having anxiety about going back to the road or, anxiety about not having any control over my career, I decided to have control over my career because I realized I had control. I didn't have to wait around. I didn't need to do anything that I didn't want to do. And that was such a light bulb moment, and it took going to therapy for that. So once I realized that I really didn't enjoy law enforcement, and if they kicked me back to the road, I would have given my 2 weeks. It was my time. I was just like, well, why wait for that to happen when I can just give 2 weeks and do a job that I really like? And it felt like kismet. It felt like it all panned out. Oh my God, there's a bee. Anywho, so it felt like divine timing, perfect timing, because at the time that I realized I no longer want to continue with PD as a police officer or as anything, 2 positions opened up that I was perfect for, and I applied for them and I got interviews for them, and I ended up going with the digital media coordinator position with the county where I was a police officer at. Did it help that I did social media with the police department? 100%, but it wasn't given to me. I know I earned that position. I found out later that over 70 people applied for that position and I got it. It felt really, really good to be chosen and to know that, hey, I know what I'm talking about and I'm really good at doing this job. And I didn't come second or third. I came first. And yeah, it was really, I got the job offer and I was so excited. And I've been happy ever since. I really like what I do. It's digital media for the county, so it's social media for the county. And it's great. Here's another bite. It was so pretty outside. I used to work right back there, and now I work right over there, literally. So I still see all the old people that I used to work with. I'm still friends with my old coworkers. I was just done. And I wanted to move on and move forward and create a different path and go on to a different career path and opportunity. I think at the end of the day, what it came down to and my reasoning for leaving was I just wanted control over my career. I didn't want to roll up to work one day expecting to be doing social media and videos and doing all these things just for command staff to tell me to hit the road, literally. I didn't. There are so many things that I wanted to do in the department. There are a lot of positions that I applied for in the department and I would never get. It was a lot of little gripes that I had with the trajectory of my career in PD that I didn't care for. I'm not the only one that left because of that. Like, I'm grateful for the time that I did have because it taught me a lot of things. I think had I gotten one of those jobs that I had put in for, background detective, SRO, recruiting, I probably would have stayed a lot longer than I intended to stay. Everything worked out in the end, and I'm so glad that I'm taking the path that I did. Law enforcement is such a noble profession, and I have so much respect for people who become police officers, stay police officers for the duration of their careers, and go on to do great things. But I'm not that person. I wasn't going to stand by and let the best years of my life go by in a job that I could tolerate just because I signed up for it. It's a job. It's not like my life's mission to be a cop. Like, to me, it was always a job. I'm just going to let this be, take what it needs to take, and like go about its business. Or there's a sense of duty and honor. It's also just a job. And if it's no longer serving your purpose and no longer serving your family and no longer serving just anything, then it's time to let it go. It's just what it is. It's a job at the end of the day. I think that that's a very healthy way of looking at the profession as a whole, or else if you don't, you get so engrossed in it, right? You identify as a police officer, you hang out with police officers, you are stuck in that world, and it's very hard to get out once you're so deeply ingrained in it. I think once I realized that wasn't the case and I had done the work in therapy, everything shifted. So in the time that I applied, it was one of those moments where I had my therapy appointment and I was talking to my therapist and I was like, I really don't like my job. I think I need a new job. And she's like, yeah, you need a new job. What are you going to do? Between that and then everything else, it was a matter of like 30 days. And in 30 days, I completely changed my life. A lot of my anxiety and a lot of my depression and a lot of the things that I was going through mentally were very situational. Now, not discounting all the hard work that I've done to, work through my issues with my daughter and everything else. But once I had worked through those issues, I realized that there is this one big thing that was weighing very heavily on me, and that was my job. And the fact that I was able to completely change my life and my career trajectory and my mental health and approach, and the way I look at life now is not cynical, and it's not, I don't know, I've already forgotten so many things that I used to do as a cop. Because when you're in it and you're like driving your car and you have your car parked outside your house, it's like a billboard. It just always made me anxious. And now, look at this bite. And now I'm just a regular schmegular person. There's like light in my eyes. I enjoy things. It has been so freeing. I had to work a county event and I was there for social media. And I ran into like some of my old like coworkers, like supervisors and sergeants and lieutenants, and they look stressed, and I remember being that stressed, and I wasn't even on the road and I was still stressed. And the fact that like I'm happy and people can genuinely tell difference in the way that I carry myself and the way that I react to things, and just like my general disposition on life has changed, and that has a lot to do with the fact that I'm no longer a police officer. Do I have gripes with some of the way that things are ran in the department? Absolutely. But I was just a senior police officer. It was above my pay grade, and I wasn't going to do anything to change it. But I will say, there are so many things that happened during my time as a police officer and working with other police officers that I could talk about, I could mention in this video, but they don't serve a purpose, right? It's all in the past. Like, I genuinely don't care. I haven't thought about any of those people. And it is so nice. Like, they don't occupy brain space. Like, some of the changes, right, that I've noticed. Like, I used to be able to telework in my old position with PD. And in this new position, I'm in the office 5 days a week, 8:30 to 5, like a normal person. I won't have the ability to be eligible for hybrid work until March, which is like my 6 months, even though I've been with the county for like 6.5 years. But that's just the rule. But the amount of energy I still have when I leave work is so much different than the energy I used to have when I was teleworking, just because that job just brought on so much unnecessary stress. And like now being in this new position and like just being a part of everything, like nothing is ever that deep. And that's what's funny about it. It's like they leave us to our own devices here. They trust us to do the job. And at PD, like I would submit something for social and it would have to go through my chain of command, And then if it touched the academy, that chain of command. And also because the academy also touches personnel's chain of command. And it was just like 10 people having to comment on this one post. And it was just the dumbest like a lot of the issues that I had later on in my role in PD were all trivial. So like if a major had a suggestion, it wouldn't be a suggestion, it would be like, get it done. And you're just like, well, I know more about this than you do, so I don't understand why you pull more weight when it comes to me being the subject matter expert at this thing. Because I, as a senior officer, don't show up in command staff level meetings and give you my 2 cents on how I think the department should be ran. I don't do that. So maybe stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. But I never said that. I always thought it. I never said it. And it's so refreshing to be in a position where my manager, my assistant director, my director just trust me to do this job, and also poke fun at it, and also want to be in these silly reels that we do because it drives the message of the county in a fun way. Like, why wouldn't you want to capitalize on that? Because, newsflash, what we're putting out isn't intended for 50-year-old command staff level people. It's intended for the 17, 18-year-old that might want to do this job. And policing today is vastly different than when they were on the road. I think the more I talk, the more I'm just like, and another thing, and another thing. But I will say that there are so many people, okay, I take that back because I'm not a liar. I can count on one hand, maybe 2 hands, the amount of people over the past 6 years that have had like a positive influence on my life and that I genuinely have thanked. I told them just like how much of a positive influence they had on me, and I may have cried a little bit, but it was one of those things where it's like they truly set me up for success, and they truly set me up to be on the path that I am currently. And I'm forever grateful for all the things that they didn't even have to do, but did anyways. And the fact that I had those people in my corner surpasses any ill feelings that I have towards like 95% of the department. I'm not shit talking anybody. People had their issues. People annoyed the fuck out of me because at the end of the day, the positives far outweighed the negatives, at least like later on in my career with PD. And I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I have today if it weren't for the path that I had taken. So I don't regret my time. I don't regret becoming a police officer. I proved to myself that I can handle the police academy. I can handle FTO. I can handle the road. I can handle the little backstabbing that is so prevalent in police work. I can handle all of that and still come out on the other end victorious. Like, this video has been a long time coming because I've been wanting to leave my old job, PD, for so long. Like, I think I was like 2 years, like I had my baby, and then 2 years in, that's when I was just like, I think I want to find something else. Like, I really want to find something else. And that was at the 4-year mark, and I still went through with it, and I still applied to other positions within the department, hoping that something stuck. But I'm so grateful that it didn't, because that was just not my journey, and I would have been miserable. I enjoy my life a lot more today than I did not even like 3-4 months ago, because that's how much it's changed and how drastic it's changed. That's my update while you had lunch with me. So that was it. We finished my Cabo bowl salad. I have to be back at work in 10 minutes, and I'm sitting outside on this gorgeous, gorgeous day. It's beautiful. There's a nice breeze, it's shaded, there's pretty trees over there. I'm gonna go back into my job. I have a meeting, and then I've got to edit some podcast reels and like post like a blog and just like get to enjoy what I do. Y'all, if you're unhappy with your job, make the jump. Like, there is so much out there. You don't have to be miserable, and the possibilities are endless. And just because I'm happy currently doesn't mean I'm never not looking. You should always be looking. You should always be bettering your best. And it's so nice to do that and not have to wear the uniform and not have the gun and badge. And the day that I gave up all that and turned in my car was probably the best day in recent years, where I truly felt happy and a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And it was such a pivotal and defining moment in my career and my life, where I was just like, I can breathe and I have control of my life. And how great is it to have control of your own life and career? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. But for the most part, leaving was just a personal decision. You know, my supervisors were very, very supportive of this shift and this change, and I'm so grateful. that I had the supervisors that I did. I'm just glad I'm not a police officer. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching if you watched till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.